Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to your another session of your online classes. Children, we were studying about lesson number 6. Okay? And we had started with plant tissues, children. And today we are going to discuss the fifth part of the lesson. And children, today we are going to study about the plant tissue only, but but there are some plant tissues, children, which are known as the protective tissues. So today we are going to study about the protective tissues. So let us study about them one by one. Okay. First protective tissue that we talk about is the epidermis. Now, if you look at the name itself, children, epi means something which is present on the outermost surface. Okay, and dermis, normally dermis is a word which is related with skin. Okay, so epidermis is the outermost layer of the plant body. Now children, this epidermis is present in each and every part of the plant. It is present on the leaf, stem, root, flower, fruits and the seed. Okay, it is present everywhere, and usually it is transparent. In most of the plants it is transparent, however in certain plants it has got a typical color. Okay, and children, this epidermis usually it is single cell layer, but in certain cases it can be also of multiple cell layers. Okay, and children, this epidermis is very tightly packed, means the intercellular spaces are absent here, and they are tightly packed, and they form a skin like how we have skin. In the same way they form a skin over the plant body, and they provide mechanical strength to the plant and protect the plant in many different ways. Okay, what are the ways that I'll come later on. Okay, now children, epidermis cell. Okay, now look, you must have seen different type of plants, children. Now next time whenever you look at a plant, take a leaf of that particular plant and see it in the sunlight, and children, you will find that the leaf has got a shine. So that shine is present because of a cutin. In case of epidermis of the plant, the epidermis contain a substance which is known as cutin, and it provides a shiny or a waxy coating over the different part of the plant and provides it smooth sheet. Okay, now children, why this waxy coating is necessary? Now what happens, a plant has to stand all 365 days in the same condition, whether it's hot. Okay, if it is very hot, then the cuticle helps to reduce the water loss. Okay, now suppose it is raining too much, like how it rained very much heavily in last few days. So children, what happens if the leaf or the plant continuously takes on water on its body again and again, so it can lead to its decay. So this epidermal cell contains cutin, okay, and this cutin is actually a wax-like substance, and it protects the plant against the weather condition, okay, very high sunlight. It help in the to reduce the water loss by the process of transpiration. And children, there are certain plants like rubber tree, or lotus tree, and banyan tree, people tree. Look at their leaves. Their leaf has got a shiny, shiny surface. So it is there to reflect all the sunlight and protect the leaf from very high sunlight. Okay. Now, what are the function of epidermis? So just now I told you that it helps in the to prevent the loss of water, especially in the xerophytic plants. Now what are these xerophytic plants, children? The plant that grow in the desert area. This you have studied in your lower classes. So, and children, the epidermis provides a protective layer and protects the specialized cells that are present below the epidermis. Okay, epidermis helps to maintain the internal temperature of the plant. Okay, and it helps to keep the inner layer of the cell in their own place. Okay, It also acts as a shock absorber, है ना, against the wind. Okay, and it is also barrier to various organisms and particles from the external surrounding. It also has to regulate the opening and closing of stomata. So children, this is the diagram of a, actually it's a transverse section of a leaf. Okay, and children, you can see that on the upper side as well as on the lower side, both the side upper, in both the side epidermis is present. So the upper one is called as upper epidermis. The lower part of the leaf contains the lower epidermis. Now children, here in the picture you can see different type of cells are there. Some of them are parenchymatous cell. I hope you remember vascular bundle, xylem, phloem. Okay. Our next topic is going to be children guard cell. Now, can you see in the lower epidermis? Okay. One word guard cell is written. And children, these guard cells, they are not continuous. You can see that they have got some opening also, and that opening is called as the stomata. So let us study about the stomatal guard cell. Stomata guard cells, they are actually specialized epidermal tissues, and they have and they perform very important functions in the plant. The stomata is actually the opening. Okay, like when you open your mouth and say oh, so how your mouth become round. Same way, stomata is also an opening. Okay, like how when you say oh, your lips become oval in shape. In the same way children, stomata is that opening, and that opening is guarded. How your mouth is guarded with two lips, there stomata is guarded with two cells, and these two cells are called as the guard cells. Now these guard cells play very important role. Okay. Now in this guard cells children, sometimes water content is high and sometimes water content is low. Okay. And depending on how much is the amount of water present in the guard cell, stomata remain open or stomata remain closed. Okay. Now children, this opening and closing of stomata, it also helps to regulate the exchange of gases during the process of respiration. Turgor pressure means amount of water which is present in the guard cell, helps to regulate the opening and closing of the guard cell. Guard cell also contain chloroplast, and they help in the process of photosynthesis. Okay. Children, function of stomata. Okay. Transpiration, respiration, and also help in the process of photosynthesis. In the picture children, you can see some openings present. Okay, and they are embedded in the epidermis. So stomata are nothing but they are the special functions that are being performed by the epidermis, and you can see that right now the stomata are closed. I hope you are able to see the stomata here children. This is the stomata, this is the stomata. Okay. Now next, protective layer of plant tissue is the cork. Okay. Now children, when you look at any plant, or when you precisely when you look at a tree, you will find that the tree, the outermost covering of the tree is little bit hard and rigid. So it happens due to the presence of another protective tissue which is called as the cork. Okay. So cork protects the inner part of the plant tissue and protects the plant against the mechanical injuries, water loss, and the pathogen. The cork is so hard that the pathogens, they cannot enter the tree. Okay. They are made up of the same epidermis cell children, which die after a certain age. Okay. And children, these cork cell, when they die, they have no function. So what happens? They act as a dustbin for the plant, and plant stores all the waste that they have in this particular cell, and it forms a outermost covering which is very tough layer, and we call it as bark. You must have seen bark children. Next time whenever you see any tree, just touch the stem or the branch part. You will find that it is little browny and dry. So that is the cork. Okay. This cork also protects the plant against the harmful microorganism. Okay, and they protect the plant from mechanical injury. They also prevent the loss of water by the process of evaporation and transpiration. Children, cork is very much useful. It is useful in chemistry lab many times. It is used as a stopper, and also it is used as a stopper in the medicinal bottles, especially which are used for Unani and Ayurvedic system. Okay, they are also used for fishing boats. Okay, and they are, since they are very light in weight, they have got many different uses. This is the bark, children, that I was telling you. So these bark are actually the dead cells. Okay, dead cell of the epidermis. Okay, and in this dead cell, the plant stores its waste. Okay. Now, children, in my previous topics, I had told you that I'll be telling you about the secondary phloem and secondary xylem. Now, what happened in case of a tree, children? The intercalary meristematic tissue is present, or the cambium, I can say. Now the cambium continuously divides and forms new cells. These new cells which are formed, they are either the xylem or they are the phloem. Okay, in one side it continuously forms the xylem, and on the other, from its other side, it continuously forms the phloem. And children, in this way, in a plant, there is a continuous formation of new xylem and new phloem. Now, in case of trees, I am saying very specifically, in case of trees, what happens? There is a continuous formation of xylem and phloem, new xylem and phloem tissue. So what happens to the older one? Those older one, after certain time, they die. And children, when they die, they change their color. Why do they change their color? Because plants start using them as their dustbin. Plant cannot give out their waste. How humans can give out? Okay. So children, how do plants get rid of their waste? It stores a lot of its waste in such dead cells, and in this way those dead xylem and phloem, they become a storehouse for waste, and with passage of time, those chemicals, they change their color, and these change in color, children, they help in the formation of growth ring. You can see in the picture one word is there, growth ring. Okay, and this growth ring help us to know the age of the tree. This you have studied in your lower class also. Okay, if we cut any stem, you will find that it has got rings. Okay, and these rings help us to know the age of a particular tree, not plant, a tree. Now, one topic, children, which I missed out previously: difference between a meristematic tissue and a permanent tissue. Okay, these are the six differences, and all these seven differences, and all these seven differences I have discussed every time in all my slides. Still, if you have not understood anything, children, it is little bit hazy, but I think it is readable. Okay, and in case you don't understand, please do tell me your feedback. I'll send another one. And children, this is all about the plant tissue, and tomorrow onwards we will start with the animal tissue. I hope you have understood the plant tissues. Please remember name of all plant tissues, what are their functions, what are their structure, and their location. Okay, and children, everything, if you remember two points, that is enough for you. So please revise yourself, and God bless you. Take care of yourself and study well. Write down all these notes in the CW.